There's a bar that I used to, there's a diner that I used to go to when I was like 20 with all my buddies, and there'd be a bar that we would always pass with the ugliest, oldest fucking people in there, and we would always have a thing where it's like, all right, if you guys ever see me getting drunk in there, just shoot me in the back. And now I go back to that diner, and I'm always like, man, that looks like a fun fucking place to hang out. And I'm just literally not going in there because I'm
Just
afraid I'm
fear
going to
for
run
your
into
life,
one of those
yeah.
guys. But yeah, it's sort of like you start justifying hanging out with those that element for some reason.
I remember being in nightclubs when I was 18, because we can do that in Australia. I remember being 18 in a nightclub, looking at like a 26-year-old guy and thinking, what's this fucking loser doing?
Yeah.
And I've gotten drunk in nightclubs now at 34, and I think people must think I'm the biggest cock in the world.
Speaking of being the biggest cock in the world, you have this thing now where you get fucked up and you don't tell me about it because you think I'm like your father, and you hide your drinking from me.
I'll tell you why, Eddie, because you're very judgmental.
I'm not judgmental. I don't give a fuck.
Jason?
Am I judgmental? Have I ever got mad at you getting fucked up?
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't let him drink.
I got really drunk and ornery and crazy. And you had me on the grill for 2 weeks for that.
You were
episode.
yelling, "I'm the golden goose of your podcast."
I felt like shit after that, though. I felt terrible.
Because you were yelling at him because he was drunk.
Yeah, I felt terrible about that. And
I don't ever get drunk.
Yeah, you do sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
We usually get drunk with strangers.
I have started
So
drinking.
does he, and I hear the stories. I'm like 2 weeks behind Jim at every comedy club, and there's like a path of destruction that I hear, and they all tell me. Wait, I'll tell the story. They always go like this. I'm not supposed to tell you this.
I do. I say, don't tell Eddie, because you're very judgmental of me.
Can I tell the Pittsburgh story now?
I don't know.
I was just in Pittsburgh this weekend, and they told me.
These stories are well exaggerated, by the way.
Oh, I get ones like Atlanta. I was in Atlanta a month ago, and they're like, "Oh, Jim, fucking the first show, he was drunk on stage. He had his nutsack out."
I was not drunk.
You took your nuts out on stage, Jim?
No, he walked into the audience and took his nuts out.
That's funny. I don't know what you... I'm a comedian.
You've been hanging with Bobby Lee.
I'm a comedian.
But I like how you object to the drunk part.
No, the thing is, because I've worked very hard at not getting as drunk as... I used to be drunk on stage for every gig. For 10 years, I was drunk at every gig I performed at. And now, a handful of time in the last 6 months, I've been drunk on stage. And I was sober for 8 months. And now I pretty much will drink about once every fortnight. And there has to be all the moons have to align and so. When we were together, I think I got drunk once.
One night
out of the thing,
which was fantastic. You were in great behavior.
And the other nights I was completely sober. But see, the thing is, because I went sober, now that I get drunk one night, Eddie, the fucking Mr. MMA, take my shirt off in a bar type drunk, right, gets angry at me, so I don't tell him.
I don't get angry. I don't give a fuck.
Can I ask a practical question? How do you pull your nuts out? And I know there's a way to do it without pulling your cock out.
That's easy.
No, I shouldn't have asked.
And my eyes are closed starting now.
No more.
Can I open up? Mom?
I wouldn't open your mouth.
Wait, so Atlanta, he goes to Atlanta. Jim goes to Atlanta, and I've got some friends down there that party pretty hard. And Jim goes, "I'm going to Atlanta. I don't want to see your friends. They're going to get me in trouble."
I told him not to because I was trying to stay sober, and you sent him along.
So I call the guys, and I go, "Hey, Jim's trying to stay sober. Can you just leave? Like, take him to like baseball games and fucking the zoo." Like,
those guys are animals.
So the first night, Jim's not even with them. He's fucked up on stage.
I met Larry David in a bar. It was an exciting night.
And then,
That's awesome.
And then. So I said, "How was Atlanta?" He goes, "I just got fucked up that night, and then I just slept the rest of the week. I do my gigs, I slept." So I'm down there 2 weeks later, and I go, "Yeah, they're telling me all these stories," and I go, "This all happened in one night?" And they go, "Well, no, it happened every night, but Jim told us to tell you."
No, that's a lie. I only saw them one night.
Really?
Yep, I only saw them one night. That's a lie. I saw them on the final night. That's a lie.
Okay, now here's the Pittsburgh story. They said that
see, these things are exaggerated. I
had the worst one yet of late. I know.
What?
Jim,
I kept that quiet for you.
You can tell him. It's okay.
I don't want to tell it.
All right.
What's happening here? I'm so lost.
Jason got drunk with some friends of mine, and then I lost him, and I stumbled home, and they rang up going, "You have to come back and get this friend that you brought along. He's rolling around in a puddle in the street."
Oh, Oh, that's what the sisters, and the dad who's like gave him a card, and now he thinks he's gonna score music.
Yeah, the dad was out here because he was nominated for an Emmy for best soundtrack to a TV show, and Jason went, "You got to hear my music," and then Jason's vomiting in the street next to me, going, "He wants to hear my music."
That's not the story you told me.
Well, I did vomit.
Okay, well, you left that out.
He was rolling around. No, the puddle wasn't from rain. It was a
vomit.
puddle of his vomit.
No. It was drainage in the street.
You know what?
I went down. It was rancid, dude.
This
it was
is funny
awful.
because
It was home.
He told me this story today very differently. He had said what an amazing
Well,
evening
we
he
had a good night. I
Because
didn't tell you how it ended.
Listen, this was the punchline was this. He said, "Lindsay, this guy, he gave me a shot." And then he pulled out and showed me his card.
No,
he did like music stuff.
He
and
did.
then, like,
He did buy Jason about 12 shots. The
Yeah,
two of
he
them
got me-
became best
Jason,
friends.
Yeah.
Jason,
we got
and
along
where
great.
You
where
got drunk and threw
were
up.
my dogs at this point?
This wasn't when I
You
was
weren't watching my dogs?
No. This is.
But did he make a good impression on the
you-
dad?
they were with Lauren.
He did in the
said that
beginning of
dad
the night. The dad
I had
liked
a
him
great
in the
night all
beginning.
night, and then I ended it with going face first, doing a swan dive in a puddle.
All right. Well, I was in Pittsburgh this weekend, and you did call me the one night and say that you got pulled over for drunk walking.
You know about every incident where I've been drinking.
Yeah, so you always you're like, oh, I don't drink, and then he goes, hide the cop.
No, this is it.
He
this is
called.
it.
Wait, let me tell because you were drunk, and then the next day you were
This is
like,
so
I don't know what
gay.
you're talking about. You called me fucked up, and you go, the cops just pulled me over for walking, and I go, what? They go, where are you going? And he goes, I'm going down here, and they go, you're too drunk to walk, and he goes, I want to see your badges.
No, I remember what happened that night. That's probably what I told you. But what actually happened was that was the night that we got drunk.
We did Devlin's gig.
We did Devlin's gig, and it all got out of hand. And I walked back here, and then the guy said, "You're not going to your car. You're not going to drive." I said, "I'm just walking." And they go, "But you're too drunk for a walk." And I just went, "Oh, come on! I just live over there." And he goes, "You sure you can make it back there?" And I said, like in a posh English voice, I go, "Are you going to arrest me?" Like it was going to be the most. I was literally 5, and they went, "Well, we're not going to." And I went, and just walked off.
But then Pittsburgh, they told me they took you to an after-hours club,
Yes, they did. Yes.
and you wanted to fight everyone.
No.
I go, not Jim. Jim doesn't fight.
No,
anyone."
I've never gotten into a fight. I've never
Yeah.
gotten into a physical fight. I'll tell you what happened there. You tell that story, your
Okay.
story, but I'll tell you what actually happened.
And then
Because I know how comedy club waitresses all of a sudden this happened, that happened. It's just fucking Chinese whispers.
Well, because that's all amazing stories to them, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sort of like, oh yeah, no, that was
Yeah.
because I walked into the bar to get my tequila, and the waitress is like, "You live with Jim Jefferies?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I had to drive him home from the after hours club after he started a whole bunch of fights, and I drive him home, and he was in the back seat of my car in the fetal position, and he kept going, fucking Eddie, his podcast would have no listeners if it wasn't for me."
No, that never. When,
Jesus.
Why would she make
s-
that up?
Why would I say that to a random person?
How would she know we had a podcast?
Well, if she knew you, because she knows you now because you're there and the advertising on the posters does the podcast with Jim Jefferies and you reference it on stage. So now she's doing it back. Why would I tell a random stranger that? Other comics I mention that to all the time.
Were you in the fetal position in the back seat of her car?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
No, that didn't happen. I'll tell you what did happen that night.
All right.
There was I almost dropped the N-word in public for the first time in my life. Very close. We were in an after-hours bar, and I was getting a bit leery, and there was like 12 people there, and I said, "I'll get everyone a shot," because 8 of them were like staff from the comedy club. So I said, "I'll buy everyone a shot," right? And then this table, there was this table there, and there was 3 black guys, and one of them goes, "I'll take a shot from you, you privileged white motherfucker." And I did that. "You don't know me. You don't know where I've come from." And that's where the fight happened. And I just got dragged up with the staff and went home.
Was this at the?
So I'm being honest. I don't come out of that story smelling like fucking roses, but that's what actually happened.
You told a story about the Hard Rock in Florida. Do you remember that one? It was like a guy who.
This is like Jim Jefferies.
thought
This is
it was
your
like
life.
or the girl that he was trying to hit.
Oh,
on.
yeah. This is,
Yeah.
this story wasn't, I did nothing in this one. As I said, I've only had
Which
one.
I can vouch for because that night you were a total gentleman. We were both pretty sloppy. but yeah.
I've never gotten into a fight in a bar. I've only been punched in the head once as an adult, and it's on the internet. Only time I've been punched. And I was in a bar.
You got your head bashed against a wall too.
That was I had that that was after a gig as well. But I was walking out of the gig sober for that one. Both times I've been hit, I've been completely sober. So anyway, I go into this bar, and this girl, because the bar was over the road from the gig. I wasn't even drinking at this stage. I just walked into the bar and I was hanging out. And then this girl goes, "Oh my God, Jim Jefferies. She goes, "Oh, yeah, I have to get you a shot. You have to do a shot with me." So I went, "All right, man, I'll do this shot. Thanks." Give her a kiss on the cheek. She walked off. Nothing's going to happen again. Then this guy comes up and he just goes, "So you're a comedian, are you?" And he goes, "Do they pay you to be a comedian?" I said, "Oh, yeah, it's my job, right?" And he goes, "So why the fuck are you letting young girls buy you drinks then? Can't you afford your own fucking drink?" And I was like, just bemused, going, "Well, should I buy her? Does she want a drink?" I'm like, "Would it help if I return the thing?" And then he pushed me onto the ground, and then all the fans and stuff that were at the gig came and tackled him, and then a big hoo-ha, and then I got drunk after that.
Was she underage or something, or was this her boyfriend?
Oh, I don't.
It was a guy who was just jealous that there was a pretty girl.
It wasn't a boyfriend. He was in that group. He'd obviously spent a lot of time and money on this girl, working on it. She comes back, talks about it. He's angry, bang, you're on the ground.
I know that guy. I'm in Hong Kong. You know that area of Hong Kong where it's all hookers.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, and we're in this. It's all hookers. It's all hookers, and we're in this bar, this karaoke bar, and I'm up singing some song and kind of like fucking with everyone. And some dude who's like the guy who like dates the girls, that he's a British expat that is living there, that has decided to move to Hong Kong, and he's their savior.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me off stage and he goes, "Who the fuck do you think you are, fucking making fun of everyone in here? You exploiting all these people?" Because I think I was singing in an Asian accent or something. And I go, exploiting? You moved here from Britain because you couldn't fuck a British girl. And you moved here because
Their standards are very high.
You have yellow fever and you're fucking paying these girls to have sex with you. Who's exploiting you, fuck? And so it like broke out into this like fucking Hong Kong bar brawl where we had like chairs are breaking and shit, and we go out the windows. And
you know how we say yellow fever? Do you think Asian women have a name for like white guys?
Vanilla fever?
I don't know.
Well, what is it? I was just saying. I was just talking to Winces at the Improv. You know Winces?
I don't remember these people. I was drunk.
At the Improv in Melrose?
Once every fortnight.
The Pittsburgh Improv. And
I am seriously. It's like once every now and again. I used to be drunk all the
last
time.
time I knew you had quit because you were shitting blood.
Yeah, but that's all better now. My liver's better.
Was it just a hemorrhoid?
No. I had
Fissure.
problems.
Wait. Let me get this. So I'm talking